that you're not depressed. You're just comfortable. You've mistaken dopamine for discipline and pleasure for purpose, and now your life's on pause while the world passes you by. The harshest truth I can give you is this: you're not failing because life is unfair. You're failing because you've made comfort your God. You've become so addicted to convenience that you've forgotten what it feels like to earn your breath. Every inch of your day is tailored for ease. Warm bed, soft food, instant dopamine, endless distractions. And you wonder why your soul feels heavy. You wonder why you wake up anxious. You wonder why you're full of doubt. Why you're tired even after sleeping 12 hours. It is because comfort is draining you. It's not healing you. It's not rest. It's decay disguised as peace. You're not just losing to life. You're not even in the game. You've exited. You've chosen to watch other men build empires while you sit still, scrolling, stuff in your face, avoiding anything that makes your heart race. You call that freedom? You traded your potential for pleasure. You sold your future for temporary calm. And every time you hit snooze, every time you delay the workout, every time you let your emotions dictate your day, you sign another contract with mediocrity. And you sign it willingly. But I'm not here to just slap you. I'm here to wake you up. Because buried beneath your weakness, beneath all your excuses, there's a fire. It's a part of you that knows this isn't what you were born for. You feel it, don't you? That flicker of disgust when you see your reflection and realize you've settled. That rush of adrenaline when you hear the truth and your spine stiffens because for 1 second your mind remembers what it feels like to be dangerous. You are built to be strong, disciplined, focused, not soft, not reactive, not addicted to nonsense. And the worst part is you know it. Look around. Every man you admire, every champion, every millionaire, every savage warrior, they all bled for it. They weren't born special. They just made a decision. I will not be a slave to comfort. While you were hitting snooze, they were rising. While you were binge watching shows, they were building discipline. While you were complaining, they were conquering. That's the only difference. Not luck, not fate, just decision. Relentless decision over and over again. Painful choices that carved them into steel. You think they never felt tired? You think they loved every second of the grind? Of course not. But they didn't need to feel motivated. They had a mission. They had standards, and that's what you need. Standards that make your feelings irrelevant. Want to feel better? Then be better. Stop searching for hacks. Stop looking for shortcuts. You're not broken. You're just undisciplined. You've been lied to by the world, told that you need self-care when what you really need is self-respect. And self-respect doesn't come from bubble baths and journaling. It comes from doing the hard things. The things you don't want to do, but you do them anyway. Because that's what warriors do. They choose what's right over what's easy. And if you don't start making that choice, your life will continue to suffocate in the comfort you worship. You've got greatness in you. But that greatness is not going to rise in a room full of comfort. It will rise when your back is against the wall. When you're cold, when you're tired, when everything in you screams to quit and you still show up, that's when you unlock it. That's when you become dangerous. And once you taste that version of yourself, you'll never go back. You'll look at your old life, the laziness, the softness, the wasted time, and you'll be disgusted. Not in shame, but in clarity, because you'll finally realize what you traded away for comfort. And let me be clear, discipline isn't punishment. It's freedom disguised as effort. It's the highest form of self-love. It's the armor you build to face life head on. Comfort tells you, rest now, you deserve it. Discipline says, work now or you'll never deserve it. One leads to regret, the other leads to glory. You've been listening to the wrong voice. You've been loyal to the voice that keeps you weak. And that voice must die right now. It won't be easy. It's not supposed to be. Growth is supposed to hurt, but inside that pain is everything you've ever wanted. Confidence, pride, power, peace. peace. You don't get that by staying warm and entertained. You earn that by fighting yourself every single day. And you can. That's the part you forgot. You've convinced yourself you're stuck, but you're not. You're just sedated. Your power isn't gone. It's asleep. Buried under junk food, excuses, porn, gossip, video games. Strip that away and the beast returns. The warrior wakes up. And when that happens, nothing, no man, no setback, no failure will stop you. Discipline is the way out. It's the sword you must draw if you want to cut through the fog of comfort. It's not a maybe. It's not something you do when you feel ready. It's the only path. And the longer you wait, the darker life gets. So get up, fight back, reclaim the fire, and remind the world what happens when a man remembers who the hell he is. I knew a guy once, not some random loser, not some hopeless junkie, a regular guy. Worked at 9 to 5, had a girlfriend, decent car, clean clothes, little apartment. From the outside, he looked fine. Nobody worried about him, but I saw through it. I saw the cracks, I saw the dead eyes, I saw the silent scream buried under his fake smile. You know what he told me one night? Sitting alone on the balcony, eyes locked on nothing. He said, I don't even feel alive anymore. Not because something tragic happened, not because he lost everything, but because he had nothing worth bleeding for. He didn't drink poison, he didn't crash the car. He just let go of his edge, and it killed his soul slowly. Every day a piece of him died because he traded struggle for safety. He quit his dreams for stability. He chose peace over purpose. And the irony is, he was still miserable. That's what most people don't understand. Comfort isn't peace. It's the most beautiful looking prison ever built. Padded walls, soft pillows, no alarms, but you're still trapped. And the door only opens from the inside. That man could have been a monster. I saw it in him. Fire in his voice when he spoke about the things he used to love. Rage in his eyes when he remembered who he used to be. But instead of chasing that, he buried it. He said, it's too late. I missed my chance. And that broke me. Because the truth is, he didn't miss anything. He just let the world convince him he couldn't try again. That's the real death. Not the one in the ground, and the one that happens while you're still breathing. That's what you're flirting with right now. Not failure, extinction. And not because you're weak, but because you forgot you were strong. You think your story's over. Let me tell you something. You're still here. You still wake up. Your heart's still beating. You've still got a mind that works, a body that moves, a soul that aches for something bigger. That pain inside you, that's not depression. That's potential being strangled. That's the universe screaming at you to rise, to get off the floor, to remember who you were before the world softened you. You weren't born this way. You weren't born lazy, bored, anxious, disconnected. You were born screaming, kicking, fighting, wild, primal, alive. They told you to be realistic, to stay safe, to lower your standards. They told you not to chase what sets your soul on fire. And you listened. You let go of your hunger. You dimmed your own light so others wouldn't feel uncomfortable. You stopped chasing discomfort, and in doing so, you killed your own power. But here's the thing, you can get it back. That's the beauty of being human. You can reinvent yourself any day you choose. And the wall can't stop you. The man on that balcony, he didn't jump. He didn't cry. He just kept existing. And that's worse than dying. Because there's no glory in slow decay. There's no honor in giving up without a fight. If you're going to go out on your feet swinging. But if you're still here, if you're reading this, then deep down, you're not done. There's a fire somewhere in you, hidden under all the dust, just needs oxygen. And oxygen is pain, discipline, movement, pressure. That's how we reignite the flame. Let me ask you something, Rue. When's the last time you felt proud of yourself? Not for posting something, not for finishing a game or getting likes. I'm talking about real pride. Chest out, jaw tight, spine straight. That kind of pride only comes when you do something hard, something ugly, something that almost broke you, but you finished it anyway. That's what you're missing. That's why your life feels hollow. You're starving for struggle. But struggle with meaning. Struggle with direction. That's where your identity is reborn. That's where your confidence lives. And don't you dare say it's too late, dude. I don't care if you're 20 or 50. It's another lie. Weakness tells you that your best days are behind you. It's nonsense. Your best days begin the second you stop bullshitting yourself. The moment you say no more. The moment you burn the safety net and say, if I fall, I fall, but I'm climbing anyway. That's when life bends to your will. Not before, because life only respects the man who chooses war over comfort. I want you to remember this. The man you're supposed to become is already watching you. He sees your choices. He hears your excuses. He's waiting not for perfection, but for courage. And when you finally move, when you finally decide to rise, he'll meet you halfway. That's the truth nobody tells you. There's a version of you that's already a killer, already disciplined, already untouchable, but you have to suffer into him. You have to bleed into him. You have to earn him. And you can. That's the beauty of this. No matter how far you've fallen, you can get up. No matter how long you've been asleep, you can awaken. It doesn't take years. It takes one brutal, honest, relentless decision. And that decision can happen right now. But you got to mean it. You got to feel it in your bones. Because this world doesn't need more comfortable men. It needs warriors, leaders, kings, men who choose discipline, men who turn pain into fuel, men who never bow to weakness no matter how sweet it sounds. This is your call. This is your moment. The cage is wide open, but you've got to walk out. You've got to tear through the illusion, and when you do, when you start becoming who you were born to be, you won't just inspire others. You'll finally respect yourself. You ever wonder why you feel hollow when you're alone? Why your chest feels tight when you wake up and realize another day is here and nothing's changed? That's not anxiety. That's your subconscious screaming, warning you. It knows, it sees the years slipping away and is trying to wake you up before the rock takes over for good. But you keep silencing it. You distract yourself. Music, games, food, porn, numbing agents. You've mastered sedation, but you've forgotten how to feel alive. Let me hit you with something most men can't handle. You are not guaranteed time. You keep acting like you've got decades to fix yourself. You think your potential will wait. You believe your dream life is some event in the future, something that will just happen if you exist long enough. It won't. Time is not your friend. Every second you waste is a deal you're making with regret. Gambling your future on comfort today, and the house always wins. One day, you'll wake up at 40 or 50 and you won't even recognize the man in the mirror. The scariest part, he'll remember every excuse you made to become him. Fear isn't the enemy, comfort is. Fear wakes you up, pain teaches you, regret is the ghost that whispers what could have been, what should have been. If only you'd moved when you had the chance. If only you'd suffered when it mattered. That's the war you're in. Not with the world. Not with your boss or your parents or your genetics. The war is with the quiet part of yourself that knows you were meant for more and watches you run from it. Every day you delay its betrayal. Not to society, not to me, to yourself. Your future self watches you waste time and feels sick. You think he's going to be proud of this? You don't need more time. You need pressure. You need consequence. You need to feel the weight of the light you're throwing away. Because only then will your spine straighten and your fists clench and your soul scream, enough. That's when the real transformation begins. Not when things get easy. But when you finally realize you're running out of time to become who you were born to be, not someday, now, this very minute. I've met men who were starving for redemption, but too afraid to change. They waited for motivation, waited for someone to drag them into greatness. Nobody came. You think life is going to give you permission? You think discipline is going to knock on your door and say, hey brother, ready to be excellent today? No. You either attack your demons or they build a home in your mind and call it personality. That's what happens to men who hesitate. They don't become peaceful, they become broken. Quiet, docile, tamed. You fear change. You fear failure. You should fear staying the same. That's the nightmare. Not falling, not pain, but wasting this short, brutal, beautiful chance you have to become a warrior, to build a legacy, to leave a dent in the universe. You're not just robbing yourself, you're robbing the world of your highest version. And then you're down every day. You sit on your potential. Someone else pays for it. Your future wife, your unborn son, your friends who need a leader. You owe them better. Urgency is not panic, it's precision. It's understanding that the clock is ticking and you don't have infinite time to become the man you admire. You think you're young, you blink and it's over. You think you'll start Monday. Time doesn't care about your plans. Time respects only action. Right now, every minute that passes, someone else is taking your spot, building your dream, kissing the girl you were too lazy to earn, living the life you were too afraid to fight for. That should terrify you. That should ignite you. Because fear, when channeled, is fuel. That's what these weak men don't get. They run from fear and live lives of sedation. But the strong consume fear and transform it into legacy. Fear makes them sharper, more focused, hungrier. It reminds them what's at stake. You can either use fear or be used by it. That's your choice. Every day. No one's coming to save you. No mentor, no motivation video, no perfect moment. It's you versus you, and you're running out of time to pick a side. You want inspiration? Here it is. You're not done. You're not broken. You're just undisciplined. You're not lost. You're not unlucky. You're just ignoring the voice that keeps begging you to wake up. The good news? You can still win. Even now, even after all the wasted time, all it takes is one final, real decision. Not a wish, not a plan. A decision that you're done being average, that you're done letting weakness pilot your life, that you're done trading greatness for comfort. And when you make that decision fully, without compromise, the world shifts. The fear becomes excitement. The pressure becomes power. You start seeing challenges as opportunities. You stop hiding, you start dominating. You finally walk into the life you were born to lead, not because it's easy, but because you stopped running. You turned to face the storm. And in doing so, you became it. Discipline isn't a punishment. It's the most powerful form of love you can show yourself. Every time you get up, when your body screams no. Every time you say no to weakness. Every time you ignore your comfort for your mission, you are declaring war on the version of yourself that wanted you to stay soft. That's the difference between the kings and the cowards. The kings suffer voluntarily. They hunt pain because they know it sharpens the blade. The cowards, they wait for comfort and call it peace. But peace without purpose is just slow death dressed as a nap. You want to change your life? Then you better stop negotiating with your lower self, that voice in your head that whispers, sleep in, start tomorrow. It's okay to skip today. Kill it. Drown it in action. Drown it in repetition. Drown it in excellence. That voice is not your friend. That voice is the anchor tied to your feet while you're begging to fly. You can't afford to entertain that kind of weakness anymore. Every second you give to it is momentum stolen. And once you lose momentum, you lose yourself. I don't care how tired you are. I don't care how much you failed. I don't care how much talent you think you lack. Show up. Bleed if you have to. Crawl if you must. But you never stop showing up. That's what separates the winners from the watchers. The watchers talk. The winners do. The watchers post quotes. The winners live them. And every day you show up, even when it hurts, even when it's boring, even when it feels pointless, you're building a life that soft men can't even dream of. You're stacking bricks while they are scrolling. You're building an empire while they're chasing dopamine. Keep going. The discipline you hate now will become the freedom you praise later. The structure, the schedule, the pain. It's not punishment, it's preparation. It's the invisible scaffolding that supports the life you want to live. Most people don't fail because they're weak. They fail because they never built the structure strong enough to contain the power they were meant to hold. Power without discipline is chaos. You want to live like a god, then act like a warrior. Gods are forged in fire, not on the couch. Look around you. The world is filled with men who've surrendered. Eyes dim, souls heavy, living for weekends and escaping into screens. They're not alive. They're animated corpses. You can't afford to be one of them. You've already seen what that path looks like. You tasted it, felt the regret, the shame, the slow erosion of your confidence. That's not your destiny. That's your warning. That's the life you're escaping from. Not because it's hard, but because you're built for something so much greater. The drive you feel when you're alone, the itch you can't scratch, the hunger that never leaves, that's not anxiety. That's your soul begging you to evolve. That's your DNA roaring with untapped greatness. Don't sedate it. Don't silence it. Use it. Channel it. Let it guide you into a lifestyle so disciplined, so locked in, so lethal that people can't believe you came from where you did. You owe it to yourself to become unrecognizable. You think I love every second of the grind? You think I'm immune to tiredness, frustration, boredom? No! I've just learned that those moments are where the gold is mined. That's where growth hides, right behind the pain. You want the secret? Consistency over emotion. Because your feelings are liars. They'll scream weakness. They'll sell you excuses. They'll tell you take it easy, but your results don't care how you feel. The iron doesn't care. The empire you want doesn't care. Only action matters. And the best part, once you start winning, really winning, everything clicks. The fatigue becomes fuel. Struggle becomes familiar. The silence becomes clarity. You stop chasing motivation and become the embodiment of it. You walk differently. You speak with certainty. You become a presence, not a person. You walk into rooms and people feel it. Not because you're arrogant, but because you've been to war with yourself and you came out a weapon. Don't let this world trick you into believing that mediocrity is noble. There is nothing noble in being average. There is no pride in potential that's never realized. Your life is your message. Make it a war cry, not a whisper. You weren't born to fit in. You weren't born to be liked. You were born to conquer, evolve, and dominate everything you touch. And if that makes people uncomfortable, good. Let them choke on your discipline while you feast on your destiny. This is the fire. The fire that doesn't go out because it wasn't lit by comfort. It was sparked by pain, fueled by purpose, and stoked by the relentless refusal to stay weak. You are not here to survive. You are here to rise, to break your limits, to look fear in the eyes and smile. You are the storm they warn others about. You are the standard. You are the spark in a dark world. So keep going, relentlessly, ruthlessly, without compromise. You've been lied to since the day you were born, told to obey, told to wait your turn, told to be realistic, be polite, be careful. But where's that gotten you? Be honest. You sit there every night, quietly aching, scrolling past success like it's fiction, clapping for men who bled for things you didn't even have the courage to chase. And that ache you feel, that's not jealousy. That's a reminder that you were built for more, but you've been living like less. You've been choosing sedation over domination, distraction over discipline. And I'm here to tell you that ends now. This world isn't going to hand you a crown. It's going to hand you chains, chains of mediocrity, chains of comfort, chains of fear disguised as logic. And if you don't rip those chains off yourself, no one's coming to set you free. Your parents won't save you. One action at a time. One brutal, disciplined, focused day at a time. You want glory? Earn it. Break something? Good. You're not tired, you're just untrained. You're not lost, you're just undisciplined. You're not unlucky, you're just untested. The world isn't against you. It's waiting for you to wake up. Stop using your past as a cage. Every mistake you've made, every moment of shame, every time you let yourself down, that wasn't the end of your story. It was the start of the war. The question is, are you ready to fight back? Because the version of you that wins doesn't negotiate with the version of you that quit. And no, this won't be easy. You'll lose people, you'll scare people, you'll outgrow people. But that's the price of rising. When a lion roars, the sheep scatter. Good, let them. You're not here to be accepted. You're here to be respected, to be feared, to walk into every room like your bloodline didn't survive 1,000 years just so you could whimper your way to the grave. You're a descendant of warriors, kings, conquerors. Act like it. No one's coming to crown you. Forge your crown through fire. Every time you think of quitting, remind yourself you already lived soft. You already tasted weak. You already know what that path leads to. Regret, self-loathing, mediocrity. And now you've seen the other side. You've felt what it's like to move with purpose. To wake up with war in your soul. To feel your heartbeat match your mission. You can't unsee that. You can't go back. That old life is dead. You buried it the moment you chose to rise. The only direction now is forward, straight into the storm. There are men alive right now, living your dream life. Men no smarter than you, no stronger, no better. But they had the audacity to act while you were hesitating. That's what separates winners from spectators. The decision to move when others freeze. So what's stopping you? Fear? Good. Use it. Pain? Even better. Let it mold you. Doubt? Let it sit on your shoulder and watch you win. Because the life you want is waiting just beyond the war you refuse to fight. And no one can walk through that battlefield but you. You think you have time? That's the biggest lie of all. Time isn't promised. Every second that passes is a second you'll never see again. While you hesitate, someone else is building. While you sleep, someone else is sharpening their sword. While you overthink, someone else is executing. And the worst part, when the pain finally comes, it won't be from failure. It'll be from knowing you could have won if you just moved. That's the kind of regret that rots the soul. Don't let that be your ending. So here it is, your moment of choice. Right now. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when you're motivated. Now. You either rise or rot. You either suffer now for the life you want, because let me tell you something brutal and beautiful. If you decide right now to go all in, to burn your excuses, to devote your life to becoming a weapon, no force on earth can stop you. Not genetics, not circumstance, not opinion. The universe moves out of the way for men on fire. You become undeniable. I've seen it, I've lived it, and you can too. But only if you decide, not wish, not hope, decide right now. So, what's it gonna be? Another year wasted, another day of pretending, another night of regret? Or are you ready to become the man who doesn't flinch, doesn't fold, doesn't fear? Because if you are, then this is the moment. This is the rebirth. This is where the old you dies and the real you is born. Savage, focused, disciplined, and completely unstoppable. Stand up, look in the mirror, make the vow, and never look back. You know the truth now.